Hello everyone, welcome back to the Maker's Gonna Learn channel. My name is Lauren and I'm a craft producer here at Maker's Gonna Learn, and in today's video we are gonna learn how to fill shapes with words. So what I want you to take away from this is gonna be a very design space heavy video, and we're gonna teach you how to set up a shape and then fill in that shape with a bunch of different words so that we can get a really cool effect. You can see here, we have sublimated this on this pillow. However, there are so many different ways that you can use this technique. As you can see here, we have also made a little Christmas ornament where we have used inkjet transparency film as well as cardstock to make a super simple ornament or gift tag. So stick around, we're going to teach you exactly how to do all these things. But before we get started, let's go ahead and go overhead and talk about all the supplies that you're going to need to complete these two projects that you see here. Starting off with this adorable little inkjet transparency ornament, the things that you're going to need if you want to create this are obviously an inkjet printer. Our favorite is the Canon TS9500 series. That's the one that we have here in the office. We have used it for years. It is definitely our go-to. You are going to need inkjet transparency film. This will be linked down below. We have labeled it front and back because there is a way that you have to put it in the printer, but you can see it looks very similar to like Mylar film. However, it will go through your printer. So you want to make sure that you do have this. Once again, this is linked down below. We have some red and white baker's twine. I have this beautiful white glitter cardstock from Celebration Warehouse. I do have a well-loved strong grip mat. You can use a standard grip mat for this. This is just one that we had here in the studio. And then I'm using this Aleene's tacky glue. This is a precision tip tacky glue, and you will see here in a minute when it comes to like tacking this down, you literally cannot see where I have tacked it and where I haven't. So it does come in very, very handy for this project. Now, if you are wanting to sublimate, we're actually not going to sublimate today. Like I said, this is going to be a very design space heavy tutorial. However, if you do want to sublimate, I will link these pillow covers down below. If you have the capabilities and want to sublimate, you will need a pillow cover and then your sublimation printer and a heat press as well. Now that we've gone over the materials, let's go ahead and hop over into Design Space and teach you all how to fill in shapes with words. Now that we're here, you can see the finished product, but I'm going to scroll over here to the side and I'm going to teach you how to get to this point. So the first thing you want to do is you want to decide what shape you are wanting to create, whether that is a snowman or anything else. You need to have a general idea of what shape you want to fill in. So today we are doing a snowman. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my basic shape and I'm going to grab two circles, or I'm going to grab a circle and then I'm going to duplicate it, okay? So we're going to start creating kind of like a silhouette of what we want to create. So if you wanted to do a snowman with 3 tiers, you can, 2 tiers, whatever. So we kind of have a general idea. Now, one thing I do highly suggest is if you are adding other cut files in, so I'm going to be adding his top hat, the scarf, and everything else, you need to do so now with your template so that you don't run into any issues when you are adding your extras later. So now that we're here on the website, we're going to search the cut files that we're going to be using. So the first one we're going to be doing is the Walking in a Winter Wonderland Snowman. So I'm just going to search Walking in a Winter. It should pop right up. And this is the snowman we're going to use for the hat and the arms. So I'm just going to download that. And then for the scarf, the one that I'm going to be showing you how to manipulate is the snowman family file. So this one, we're going to download that. We're going to unzip it. Now this is a PNG, but I'm going to show you how to manipulate it. Back in Design Space, we're going to go to Uploads. We're going to upload image. I'm going to pop back over to my Finder and I'm going to drag and drop this PNG in here. And then I wanted a complex image. We're going to go to continue. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase everything that is not this scarf. So once we have all of these erased here around the scarf, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my eraser tool in here, pop it up really big, and just erase everybody else away from here. And just so you all know, you can do this with any PNG. You can really manipulate it if you want certain areas of the PNG to be a cut file. So now I can go to preview cut image, and it's going to show me that it's just the scarf that it's going to cut. So now what I want to do is I'm going to hit apply and continue. I don't want this as a print and cut image. I want this as a cut image. So now I'm going to upload that. And here you can see we have the scarf separate from everything else. But before we move to our canvas, we are going to upload the walking in a winter wonderland. So I'm going to bring my Finder back up. Pull this in as an SVG. Then we're going to upload. And now we have both of these files ready to put on our canvas. So I'm going to select them both and add them to Canvas. Once they are here, I'm going to separate my scarf and my winter wonderland, and I'm going to size my scarf down to where I want it. And here I notice I need to bring the snowman's head down just a bit, move the scarf over, and then here I'm going to go to contour, and I'm actually just going to hit hide all contours because I find like that's the easiest, and with this one specifically, and then coming back and picking the ones that you want. So I want to leave the hat, I want that word gone, I want the berries and the leaves, and I also want the arms. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bring this over, size it accordingly. And the good part about this is from here, from this point, you can separate these two out. So if you wanted to, we could duplicate this, come back to contour, contour out the hat. So now we just have the arms separate. We can size those up and place them where they need to go. And if you do that, you need to make sure you come back and contour out the arms over here. And now you have your hat that you can size individually. Now, just because I want to manipulate this a little bit more, I'm going to duplicate this hat, and I'm going to come back to contour. I know this is a lot, but trust me, it's in the details that make this project so much better. I'm going to contour out the hat, and then all we're left with are the berries and the leaves. We're going to duplicate that again. And now I'm going to contour out the leaves so that I can make the berries larger. And then here I'm going to contour out the berries. So I'm going to zoom in because these are very small. I'm going to size them up, change the color to red. I'm going to go ahead and change the scarf color to red as well. We're going to change the arms to brown. And now I'm going to select this hat, contour out the leaves and berries there, bring the berries closer in, and move the leaves, change them to green, and move them in a little closer as well. And this is what I mean by it is really truly in the details that make a project look like it's store-bought or not. So selecting all of this, I'm just going to move it over and get it to fit. So now we have our base of what the shape that we are going to be filling in with words. Okay? If you want to, you can change these both to white, both of your circles to white, so that you can get a better feel of what it's going to look like. So the hardest part that I found of this project was going through all of the fonts that we have on our Makers Gonna Learn website and finding the ones that I wanted to use, which I have done for you. So it shouldn't be very hard for you to recreate this exact project. So we are gonna be using 6 different fonts today. I'm gonna show you how to upload one of those fonts, but you can do a rinse and repeat process for the other 5 if you don't already have them downloaded on your computer. So we're gonna go over to our Makers Gonna Learn website. We are gonna go to the font section, and I'm just gonna type in the first font that I'm gonna be using today, which is gonna be Angelina. And here you can see it's a beautiful script font. So to download that, you're gonna click the arrow pointing down. You're gonna come over here, double click that, double click it again, install it onto your computer, and then you will go back to Design Space. Make sure you save your project. Always, always, always save your project. And then from there, you're gonna go to View and reload your canvas. That way that font is now installed in Cricut Design Space as well. So making sure that you save your project is the biggest thing, because now we are right back where we were. One other thing that I want to talk about with this project is it's very important when you are pairing your fonts that you have a mixture of basic fonts, a thick font, maybe 1 or 2 script fonts, but you want them to all be very legible, because you want to make sure you can see all of the different names that you are putting in your snowman. So like I said, Angelina is going to be the first font. So let's go over here to our fonts or text. We're going to go to our system fonts. We're going to type in Angelina. And this is the one that I use for the bottom that just says the Griffith family. So if you want to go ahead and type out the Griffith family or whatever family you're doing it for, you can. Now, if this is a font that you want to do with all of the different names, let me show you a trick for this part that will make designing this so much easier. So the next font that we're going to use is Century. And I highly suggest you doing this next step, whatever fonts you decide to choose. So this is Century. I felt like this was a very Christmas type font, and I just had to have it in this project. So once you have your next font, I highly suggest you typing out all of the different names that you are going to be using in your project. So for this one, we are going to be doing Alicia. Then I'm going to the next line, hitting enter. We're going to do Ruby. We're going to do Trey, Georgia, Margie, and Mike. Okay? So now you can see what all of these different names look like with this font. And I actually think that I want the M's to be just plain. So with this font, a capital M looks like this, a lowercase m looks like this. Now there may be an instance where you want it uppercase, but that's going to be a complete design preference. Once you have typed your names out, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, pull it over here to the side, and then I'm going to duplicate it, bring it over here, select everything in there, and then I'm going to change it to my second font. Now the second font that we're going to be using today is Duffy. Once again, I just felt like this was really Christmassy looking. These are 2 of the fancier fonts, I guess you could call it. The rest of them are going to be, we're going to have 1 more script font, and then the other 2 are going to be pretty plain. So once again, we're going to duplicate this, bring it down here, select all the names. Our third font that we're going to be using is Art Deco. And then all of our names get changed to Art Deco. We're going to duplicate again, select them all. Our Next font is going to be Baby Breath. Now this is the script font that we are going to be doing here, and then we're going to duplicate one more time, and I'm going to bring it to this side. And this font, the last font we're going to be using is Funky Disco. So we're just going to type in Funky Disco. And those are the 5 main fonts that I'm going to be using in this design. Now what I highly suggest you doing after this, just to kind of streamline the process, is take each group. So we're going to select this group. We're going to go to advanced. We're going to ungroup that to lines. That way each name is all going to be its own separate thing now. And we're going to just rinse and repeat. So advanced, ungroup to lines, advanced, ungroup to lines, advanced, ungroup to lines, and then finally ungroup to lines. So now we have everyone's name already pre-typed out. So all you have to do is grab the name, duplicate it, and put it where you want it on your snowman. At this point, we are going to start the assembling of filling this shape. So you want to start out with making your bigger words. You want to have everyone's name pretty large on the shape. So let's start out with the bottom and work our way up. So I want to start out, we'll start with Mike. And one thing is, not all fonts are going to be the same. So here I'm going to have to go back and capitalize that M. So I'm going to start with Mike. We'll bring Mike in here. I want to make Mike not super large, but pretty big. And then, because I use this font, actually we're gonna, now one thing I did is I brought Mike in from over there, but we want to make sure we keep it. So let's just duplicate that and bring it back over here so we have it here. Next, I want to do Margie in this Art Deco font, so I'm going to duplicate that. We'll make it a little bit bigger, bring it in here, and then just kind of position them. And one thing you can do, there are some fonts that you can unlock and stretch a little bit, will work for this project, but not all fonts look good stretched. So we're just going to make this one a little smaller. We'll make Margie just a tad bit smaller. And then next we'll have Alicia. I'm going to duplicate this, bring it over. Now you do want some of your text going vertical as well. One thing you can do is come up here to rotate. Rotate this 90 degrees and then position somewhere where it would fit. So this is a little bit big. Let's move it down. Next, we're going to do Trey. So I want to do Trey in this font. We're going to duplicate. We'll bring Trey down here. Put it right there. And then we need Ruby. We'll put Ruby up here. And then we also need Georgia. I also just realized that I typed out Georgie, but it's supposed to be Georgia, so I'm going to go change all of this to where it says Georgia. And then I think I want to rotate Georgia, so I'm going to type in 270 for this one. And then we're going to put Georgia here. Now, at this point, it's all about filling in your space. One thing I do want you all to remember is you don't have to get it perfectly around your shape. As long as you have a general idea or have it close, that's really what matters the most. So you want to make them all different sizes, going different ways, up and down, vertical, horizontal, big, little, whatever. You are just going to go through, add in all of these different names, different ways. And once you are done designing, It should look very similar to this. What you need to do next is we are going to delete out all of these names because we no longer need them. And now you have your base of your project. Now, we were just using the circles as guides, so we no longer need those either. So we're gonna just delete out, make sure you're not anything else. You're gonna be coming to your circles on your layers panel, and we're gonna be deleting our circles out. Now what you're gonna wanna do is you're definitely gonna want to work through your layers panel right now because there are a lot of layers to this project, as you can see. What you're gonna do, the best way that I found to do is to hide all of your pieces of your snowman right now to kind of get it out of the way. And then we'll go ahead and hide his top hat and the berries and stuff. We don't want to move them, we just want to hide them. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to grab the Griffith family, I'm going to move it up just a little bit, and without doing anything else, I'm going to drag way far away because all of these names right now are individual and can be moved. So we're going to, over here, so we make sure we don't move anything, select all of this, come down here to combine, and unite them together. So that's going to unite everything under one layer so it all is together. Now you can come back down here and unhide all of the little elements to your snowman. And now you can kind of move this around if you would like. Once you have done that, you are now going to select everything together. Okay, we're selecting it all. And we are going to come up here to offset, and we are going to add an offset. Now we're going to be adding 2 offsets. So the first one doesn't need to be super huge because we're going to add another offset, and that's going to be our white glitter layer for the ornament. So for this first offset, we're going to do 0.15 and see how that looks. And I'm actually going to bring it up to, let's do 1/8. It's still a little bit, I still want just a teeny bit more. So let's bring it up to 0.2, and I think that will be perfect. That one is a lot better. So we're going to go ahead and apply, but you still see that we have, we'll change it to white. You still see we have some of these little guys inside. We're just going to go to contour. We're going to hide all contours. Actually, we're going to leave that guy in there. We want that cut out, but I don't want those things cut out. We're going to make sure all of these layers are selected, and we're going to flatten those all together. So now it is just one flattened piece. Okay, so this is what we are going to be printing on the inkjet transparency. Obviously 11 inches is a little big, so we're going to size this down to about 6 inches will be a good, a good size. And then before we send this to the printer, we do need to give it one more layer, one more offset, so that we can cut it out of our glitter cardstock. So we're gonna go back to offset one more time. 0.25 is gonna be way too big for this one, so we're just gonna pull it down, go with 0.15, we'll see how that is. I like 0.15, so we're gonna apply that. I want that little guy out of there, so we're going to change that from a print and cut to a basic cut function. Go to contour and contour out these little pieces in here. Beautiful. So now we have our outside, and then here we have what we're going to be printing out. From there, we're going to go to make it. Once you are here, make sure that your size of your paper is 8.5 by 11 because we are working with an 8.5 by 11 piece of transparency film. So we're gonna hit continue. We're gonna send this to our printer, turn bleed off, and always use system dialog. Like I said, our favorite inkjet printer is our Canon TS9500 series. So we're gonna hit print. Our print dialog box is gonna pull up behind Design Space. I'm going to be feeding this from the rear tray. I'm going to choose photo paper because it is a glossy paper, and we're gonna print it on best quality. Once it is printed, you do want it to dry just a little bit, but we're gonna go ahead and place it down on our mat. One thing that I do suggest is kind of touching the outside edges just to make sure that it is dry. And it is, and we're gonna take our brayer and we're gonna bray this down onto our mat. Once you have done that, we are going to go back to Design Space. I'm gonna be cutting this on the Mylar setting today. And I'm going to use more pressure. So I'm gonna change from default to more. And then we're gonna load this into our Cricut. And then we're gonna hit play. And now what it's gonna do is our Cricut is going to register those registration marks so that it knows exactly where to cut. Once that is done, one thing that I highly suggest you doing is coming in here and making sure that it has clean cuts. Because if it does not cut through, you do not want to unload, which right now it looks like it could use, I think that I could get it off, but I also think that it could use another pass. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna hit the play button again, and what it's gonna do is it's gonna bring this back through the Cricut, and it's going to cut in the exact same spot one more time. Now I can see that I've got such a better cut on this, and it really is gonna weed beautifully. So I'm just going to unload my mat, bring it over here, and take our transparency sheet off, and look how good that did. Now we're just going to unload it from our mat, always going with gravity for this. And now you have the first part of our little snowman ornament completed. Now I'm going to add our white glitter cardstock onto our mat. Bray it down really well. We're going to be setting our base material on glitter cardstock. And sending it to our machine. Once it's finished, we're going to unload this from the mat. Same thing as before, flipping our mat over and unloading it, going with gravity. We're going to set this to the side, and now you have your base for your beautiful ornament, gift tag, whatever you want to use it as. Now, one other thing that I highly suggest you doing before you glue, I would come in here. Now, if you want to have the Cricut cut a hole, you can. I found it easier just to use a hole punch. So we're just going to line these up here. And the reason I say do this before gluing, that way you don't have glue in between and you don't ruin this. So we're just gonna hold those both in place there and come in here and add a hole. Once you have added your hole, we're gonna flip this over. I'm just gonna grab my Aleene's tacky glue, and I'm gonna add some, just a little bit, here at the top. Now, normally we would use the Zig two-way pen or even the ATG gun, but I have found that the Zig two-way pen does not at all like working. It doesn't like to work with glitter cardstock for some reason. So I've just added a little bit to the hat and the scarf where the color is. We're gonna line those holes up and just press down there. And then I'm just gonna come in and add a little dot here at this arm, not a lot. It does dry clear, so I really love that. We're gonna add just a little bit here at the bottom, just enough to tack it down. And then let that sit and dry. Once it has dried, you're gonna grab your baker's twine or whatever ribbon you want to use. We're gonna string it through this hole. And then tie our little hanger on here. You can do it with a bow, you can do it with a knot, really whatever you prefer. Just make sure it's really good and tight. And then I'm just going to bring my scissors in here and trim off the excess. And there you go, your very own custom name ornament, gift tag, whatever, filling this shape with words. Was this not so much fun? Now, this is something that I truly absolutely enjoy doing. The designing portion of using my Cricut is my absolute favorite thing to do, figuring out ways that we can make something that we see that we really like. So I hope you all have learned something throughout this video. Now, if you wanted to create the same thing, but you wanted to sublimate, you can do it all in Design Space, and then once you go to print it, or print and cut, you just make sure that you change your paper size. For example, this one we printed on 8.5 by 11 so that we could get the bigger size. Go over to the taskbar, change your paper size on your print and cut image, and then send it to your sublimation printer. And we press this at 385 degrees for 60 seconds. Now, if you want to recreate this exact same project, but you do not have access to the files or the fonts that I use, let me invite you to the Maker's Gonna Learn membership. Within our membership, you get thousands of cut files and hundreds of fonts so that you can recreate everything that you see here on our channel. If you want to learn more about Maker's Gonna Learn, make sure you click that first link down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to our channel. I absolutely cannot wait to get crafty with you all this Christmas season, and I will see you guys in the next tutorial.
If you're watching this video, you're probably searching for some quick and easy designs to sell in your Etsy, and y'all, I've got you covered. We're gonna be doing 10 no experience needed designs in under 10 minutes. I honestly love a good challenge, so I'm gonna put a timer up on the screen. We're gonna jump right into it. I've already got all the fonts that I need, as well as images if you want anything like that. If you're trying to fit like a certain aesthetic, go ahead and get all your things together, gather all your tools, get your Canva opened, log in, and we are gonna be ready to go. So let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, we'll go ahead and start the timer now. So I'm using a 5,000 by 5,000 pixel image here. That's usually what I do all of my designs on. And we're gonna go ahead and start with our first design. Now, I like to make the background the color of what I would imagine the type of shirt or garment it would go on. So I'm really digging this like peachy beige color. We're gonna go ahead and add some text. Now, I want you guys to remember, these designs that you're selling do not have to be super intricate, okay? Like, it may seem like, oh, that took me like a total of 5 seconds to create, but people love the minimalist design ideas right now. So don't feel like you've got to overcomplicate your designs, because you truly do not. So I've got this Lil Sis shirt, which I think is so cute. We're gonna adjust the spacing here. Just bring it up. And I want to change the color of this font as well. Now, obviously, when you upload this to your digital design shop, you're not gonna want to save it with a background. So this will actually just be purple on a white background when people actually download it, but they should be able to put it on a beige shirt and it's still gonna look really nice. So I'm gonna actually change that to orange. Go over to our elements and we're gonna add a simple little heart shape right down here. So cute. You can adjust the colors here as well. And we're all done. So now that you've got this exactly how you want, we're just gonna hit duplicate page and you can actually just simply change this to Lil Bro. I'm going to capitalize this, space it out, and then you can keep the heart there if you want. This is totally up to you. You can even just simply go with Lil Bro just like this and you would be good to go. You can also do Big Sis and Big Bro. That would be 2 more designs that you can pop in here as well. So we've got 2 designs ready. For the next design, we are going to create a cute little pumpkin fall design. So I'm just gonna type in pumpkin. And you can even get more specific and type in like a watercolor pumpkin if you're really wanting a certain vibe. I love this one, so we're gonna use that. And then I'm gonna type in fall watercolor floral. I just love a watercolor situation. I think that it just looks so cute. And then we're just gonna add this in right here. I'm actually gonna flip it to this side. Okay. And then we're gonna add some text and we can type in hello fall or happy fall would be cute, or you know, something along those lines. And then we're gonna pick a pretty font for this. So it can be just a normal font like this. You could do a script, would be really pretty. Like I said, don't overthink it. And a lot of times if you are creating a digital file brand, you've already got fonts that you regularly use. So try to stick to the fonts that you love and you know well, that are gonna kind of fit the vibe of what you normally do. This Arabella is beautiful. I'm going to change the color of this though to more of an orange that matches our colors. And then we are going to curve our text. So I'm gonna go to our text effects and hit curve. Now, if you're just getting involved with Canva, we do have a whole course on how to easily design using Canva. It is our digital design for creatives course. I'm gonna actually put a link below for you all if you're interested in that. I think that would be a really great space for those of you who are wanting to learn how to design your own, because y'all, it's really not that hard. You just gotta get in there and learn the ins and outs of the software, and that's what we do in the course. So this is our third design. We're gonna keep on going. Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna do just a lavender color background, and we're gonna add a text box. This is gonna be one of those Sis shirts, but this is gonna be Big Sis, and the design's gonna be a little bit different. But like I said with the other ones, I really love these designs because you can do Little Sis, Big Sis, Little Bro, Big Bro, and you automatically get 4 designs out of one singular design. So it's really nice. And I think let's do this Groovy Moves font, and I'm gonna make it all caps, and let's change it to white. And then we're gonna go to text effects and let's hollow this out. So it's just the outline, but I think it needs to be curved. So I don't like to do it 100% on a curve, but I do like to have some curve to it. Okay. And then we can add another text box that has the established date, which I think is also so cute. So if they're just about to have a baby brother or sister, you can put the year that they're going to be born, And then obviously we're gonna go in here and change the font. Then we're gonna change it to a white text. Okay, select it all, and we wanna make sure that everything is aligned in the center. Good to go, number 4. And then you can double click this and simply change that to bro. Easy as that. Okay, for our next design, we are gonna go ahead and pick a background color. I'm really loving this mustard yellow, and I'm gonna add a text box. Now this one, we're gonna do only child, and we're gonna mark it out and write big brother on it. So we've got only child. I'm gonna pick a pretty legible font that way, because it's gonna have a line through it, so you want people to be able to read it easily. Okay, and I'm gonna change it to white. I'm gonna duplicate this, and we're gonna change it to big brother. I'm gonna change this to manifest, this font. I just think it's gonna look better. And then we're gonna do a bold line through the middle. Super cute. Okay. And then obviously you can rinse and repeat and do a only child and big sister as well. Okay, the next design is going to be one that says in my big sis era. This is like super trendy right now because it kind of goes along with the Taylor Swift vibe. We're going to highlight, change this font to this really cute daisy patch font. We're going to bring these a little closer together. Just duplicating that, sending it to the back, and then we're gonna group it, shrink it, and then we're gonna add some stars. Okay. And then we're gonna do one more design. We're gonna do a smiley face. And then we're gonna add some text. We're gonna change that to all caps, shrink it down. And then we are going to actually curve this text around the smiley face. This would be very cute for a pocket tee, and then pop this on the back as well. It'd be so cute. Okay, we got 10 or more designs done today. So I showed you all some options that you can alternate with other things, such as the little sis, big sis, little bro, big bro. So you guys have so many options whenever you're creating these designs. And these are the ones that you can get listed so quick and that sell so easily on Etsy. If you all are wanting to get into opening your own Etsy shop, we have a really cool roadmap that we've created just especially for you called the Passive Earners Roadmap. We're gonna put a link below for you all, and you're gonna get access to something that's gonna guide you in the right path to getting started selling your digital design. So I hope you all love this video. I cannot wait to see what you all come up with, and hopefully I get to see you inside of Passive Earners. If you like this video, make sure to check this one out. I think you guys will love it just as much, and I will see you in the next one.
knock your socks off a little bit.
Today's project is so incredible. You're gonna have so much fun designing this project. We are really, really thrilled to give you guys like, every day's practical, but this practical is like sticker practical.
Yes.
And we all are obsessed with stickers and quotes and all of that. So over here on the craft table, we have made a sample for today's project just to give you visual on what we are making. This is what we're making. We're making a sticker, and I love that we put it on a notebook because this is like showing you the magnitude of what you can do with stickers that I don't think we touch on a lot. So just let's go overhead, and you're gonna be able to see this right here. And it is so good. So this is what I'm gonna teach you guys how to do. It's kind of like a little knockout text with some patterns and things like that. You're going to love this technique. I am going to teach you how to do this within Canva. And again, I want you guys to understand the skills you're going to learn in Canva are going to transfer to any project you do. Canva, sublimation, all the things, you're going to be able to kind of take this skill and apply it even into your own social media, into your own designing, logos, things like that. I am super excited to kind of touch on what we're doing today to make these new stickers. You are going to love this. This looks like a sticker that you would have bought, but actually we're designing it together. I'm going to teach you how to set this up, how to add the pattern to the back, and then you could add elements, things like that. So are you guys ready to dive in? It's gonna be so fun. You're going to love it. So
let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's head over to Canva. Love it, love it, love it. Here is Canva. This is what our finish looks like, but what I wanna share with you is how to start from scratch, okay? So it is so, so good, and it's awesome. So I'm just going to add a page. So if you're in Canva and you're wondering what a page is, why do I need a page, things like that, it just separates out. You know, on Cricut, you just have one very large canvas, but in Canva, we like to break it out in pages. One thing to know is that you can size your pages to be whatever size you want, all right? We are just doing a 10" by 10" is what ours is set up for. And I think that's plenty for our sticker today. So first things first, we're going to grab an element. Now, if you look at this one, this is a rectangular design. This is the first option that you can veer astray. Throughout this training, I'm going to alert you when you can do something your own way, all right? This right here is a great opportunity to where you can follow my training, but do something totally your own way.
Absolutely.
This is a great step.
This first step, I want you all to think of this first step as your base for your sticker, your building block. So if you want a circular sticker, make it a circle. If you want a rectangular sticker, make it a rectangle. If you want a crazy like wavy pattern, we're building this from the bottom up, and this base is going to be the most important part.
Now, for example, this was our base, the rectangle. So if you're like, I actually want to cover a book, like I have not done stickers this large before.
Now we don't have, do you want me to go grab a book to actually do it from start to finish?
No, it's fine. No, I think we're good with just the design today. I really want to let you guys know that the Canva course is so design specific. Even if you're traveling this summer, designing is still going to be so fun to do the course. So there is, you know, for whatever part you're designing for, the course is going to help you get it designed and made. So super, super fun. I love it, love it, love it.
Another thing I want to make sure, Lisa asked, will we get a list of supplies needed for the Canva course? So you're not actually going to need supplies. You will need supplies if you want to create certain things, but a lot of what we're doing, your homework is all gonna be web-based. Everything is gonna be web-based, so you actually don't need supplies for this course, which is great.
Which is so good. So it's super, super good. It's all web-focused, design-focused, which is super, super good. A lot of you may be really considering like, oh, I need to make sure it's the perfect size. This is all customizable. So I'm just working in a 10 inch by 10 inch. I may make the sticker 2 by 3 inches by the time I print and cut it.
Yep.
Right? Like this is not the time to size it. This is the time to design. This is the time to like let free, like just have fun with it. So back over here to where we're at. We're on our new page. Step 1, create your page. 10 inch by 10 inch, anything like that, okay? Step 2, decide your shape, all right? Decide your shape. I'm just going over here to shapes, and you can see this is kind of like Cricut, a lot of basic shapes. We can grab a square, and we can go ahead and make it a rectangle.
You can even go, if you want to, you can even go to your elements, and let's say you wanted a wavy rectangle. You can search wavy rectangle, and you can find some things like that in elements as well.
Yeah.
So just know that there are, you have your, I would start with your base shapes, but there are options.
Yep. So you could even go over here, like this is a pro. Like if you wanted to make like a stamp or like a little stamp of like the city you're going to, things like that. Like that's what this reminds me of.
I love it.
Things like that. There's so many like different options. You could do a frame and fill that in, things like that. So that is available.
But I think for today, you all need to start with your basic shapes.
Yeah, so stick with a basic shape, pick what that is. It can be whichever basic shape you want. But that is going to be important, okay? So that's step 1, pick your shape, and then you can go ahead and change the color. For today's project, to keep simplicity happening, we are going to recreate the exact example. Sometimes I like to veer off and give a lot of options. I want you to really focus in on, we are just building this together, okay? Someone asked, how did you open a page? So if you're already in a document, there is a add page button. You can add as many pages as you want. You can take away pages, things like that. If you need to create a document, you can go to the home area, create new design, and type that in here. Perfect. So you went ahead and chose your rectangle or your shape, and then you're going to choose the color. This is our color today. This is here. This is awesome. Okay? We have opened the document. We have selected our rectangle. We have selected our color. That's it. Since you have done that, you are now going to add a text box. We are going to click text box, and we're going to click add a new text box. Boom. Beautiful. We have this text box here. You can see that this is a Songbird font. This is an option that you can veer astray. You can choose whatever font you want, but we are recommending thicker fonts. Why, Tanner, do you recommend a thicker font? Because we are putting a pattern behind the font. If it is not a thick font, you will not see the pattern.
Yes.
If it's a thin font and a odd pattern, you may not be able to read your text.
Absolutely.
We will give you examples of patterns you should not do.
Absolutely.
So, what do I recommend? Put this in the chat. If you're paying attention, if you're getting trained today, what should you put? It should be a what? A thick font.
Yes.
Okay? A thick font. So good. So good. Love it, love it, love it. Now, there are so many fonts to use. You have to have Canva Pro to upload fonts, right?
You do have to have Canva Pro to upload fonts, yes. But Canva does have lots of really, really good fonts that you can use if you want to use the free version. Just know, like we've been saying all week, if it has a little crown beside of it, it's gonna be a pro font. If it doesn't, then you can use it. So what I love to do personally, if you're looking for bold fonts and you don't know where to go, if you go to the drop down at the very top, there is different styles of fonts. So you see handwriting, corporate, nope, go back to font. Right under where you search, you can go on out and there's bold. If you keep going, there's a bold, and then it will show you all of your bold font options.
Beautiful, beautiful. So that's super, super fun. There's so many here. If you have a Maker's Gonna Learn one you love, you can also always just go to upload a font and then we're gonna come over to this area and we're gonna drag and drop our font. Very simple. And click open. Yes, upload. So it's uploading our font and upload selected. And then bada bing, you can search Blake. And here we are. So you can see we have that right here. And then you can just type out focus on the good. Very tiny, so bear with me. I'm just scaling this up. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then we can play around with, kind of like on the Cricut, we need to bring this line space in. So we are going to go right over,
back, over, right, right.
Oh my goodness, I'm losing my mind, my spacing. So right here we have letter spacing, and you can play around with this. This is something fun you can do with like how close the letters are together. Sometimes that like bugs me with certain fonts, but really what we're looking for is like the line spacing.
I also think that I would put on I know on that specific one, it's on the same line.
Yeah.
Try it on the different line.
Yeah, every font is gonna be a little different when it comes to what you're working on.
And then I'd bring my sides in and put it like the sides of your text box. Don't make it smaller on the, yes, there you go. Bring it in and then take everything and shift it over to the left.
How do you?
So if you click on your text,
yeah,
and you go to the top where you see your.
Oh, are you saying
like
this?
that? Yes,
Oh, I
love that.
Okay, I'm vibing.
I'm vibing with that big time.
So notice what happens. So Lauren suggested we kind of do the alignment from align center to align left, and this is what it would be if you're doing align right. I don't really. No, I don't think anybody should be aligning right.
Sometimes I do like it, but not on this.
Not for today's project, not for the words, things like that. So, look at that.
I just think that looks so good.
It reminds me of a brand,
and then you can move it,
and like how they kind of do.
Like move it down to the corner more so.
Yeah.
I think that on a notebook would look so good.
So good, so good. So anyway, we're giving options. So again, this could be your centered option, and this font is a little bit more quirky, I feel like, but this one's a little bit more serious. So it depends on your vibe, it depends on what you're doing. So fun. Now, again, you have created your page in Canva. You have picture shape, you have picture color, and you've added your font, and you've typed it out and trained it, okay? The next step is we actually need this to be all white. We have to have it. We all have to do this. This is a non-negotiable. Highlight your entire text, and we're just going to go over here, and we're going to change it to white. All right? Are y'all with me? Are you guys with me? Okay, so good. So fun. Now, here is your next option, your next project, okay? You're going to click share, and you're going to click download, PNG, okay? You can do PNG, and then you can click, I just want to unselect all pages, and I'm going to select current page. Current page, I'm downloading it as a PNG. Click download, okay? It is downloading and saving to my computer. I can click on it right here, and then boom, I have this. Now, for a lot of us, we'd be like, this is a great sticker, Lauren.
Yeah, and it is.
It is.
It's a very nice looking sticker.
Yes.
But we're not done yet.
We are not done yet. So what we will do is we are going to say, thank you so much for letting me know it downloaded. What you're going to do now is you're going to add a page, okay? Click add page. It just creates like a little extra crafty area.
Yes.
And this is very common for crafters like us to have all these different pages. Right? Like we've played around with this so much.
Yeah.
Okay? So anyway, super fun. What we're going to do is we're going to now go to upload. I am going to actually upload the file I just downloaded. Isn't that funny?
Yep.
So the reason why is so that we can remove the background, and you can do this many ways.
Yes.
I'm going to preference. We're using how to do it in Canva. You could do this in so many programs.
Yes, you
I could
can.
actually do this without even using Canva and just use the Mac. You could probably do it in just PC. We are using how to use this tool for Canva's purpose today.
Yes.
Now, we're gonna drag, we're gonna drop. Once we are here, we are going to select, and then we are going to go to edit image.
Yes.
And after we're here under edit image, I wanna show you, this is kind of like the aha moment of yesterday with Lauren's training, where it's like, wait, Canva is so much more than Design Space. Canva is so much more. The amount of effects that you have the ability to use is insane.
It really is. I was actually playing around with it earlier, and what we're fixing to do, I just want to be clear, this is a pro feature. But like Tanner said, there are so many different softwares out there.
Yeah.
If you don't have pro, you can go to those free softwares and remove the background if you want to. It's just so much easier to do it in Canva, and we're gonna teach you how to do it in Canva. Like I said, Google background, free background removal tool if you don't want to pay for Canva Pro.
Period.
Do we think Canva Pro is worth every penny? Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. So we're just going to see here Magic Studio. I love these Magic Studio things. It's so good. We're going to click background remover, and it's go think for a second, and then like boom, boom, boom.
And it looks like nothing happened.
It does look like nothing happened.
It looks
Isn't
like
that funny?
absolutely nothing happened.
So good.
But that's where the magic does happen.
That's where the magic starts, okay? So, are you guys ready for this? We're going to go outside of that area. We're going to go down to
elements.
Gosh, I know. I'm like, this is so fun. I'm so excited. We were searching, remember, this is the same area where we grabbed our shape. What I love about Canva is it kind of like solidifies everything. So your images, your graphics, like everything's together. We can do like block patterns. Let's see what happens when you search block patterns. Let's see what happens. So there's a lot of options.
Try checkerboard.
Checkerboard, ooh.
Yeah.
Checker, if I could spell. Ooh. Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, I'm trying to see what this base color we have, what we could work with. I'm just prowling around, y'all. I'm doing like a little...
Just a little one over. And just so you know, some of these block patterns are editable, where you can change the colors. Just so you know.
Okay, so we're going to grab, first off, I think a pattern that has off colors, not white, or more easily readable. That's a term. We have this pattern.
See, that one is editable. You can change those colors of that checker pattern.
Wow. So I could literally change. Could literally change it to like whatever I wanted. Like,
yes.
That's crazy. Crazy, crazy. Whoa.
Not saying that you want those, but like put that hot pink in it.
Ooh.
And change the other one to that purple. And let's just see what that looks like. I don't really much care. Do it the hot pink and orange. Change the purple to orange.
Wow. Let's see what happens. So look, we can select it after we've played around with this color. We can go here to layers. And under layer, very similar to Cricut, we can click send to back. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Actually, I just need to...
I would
move it down.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, let's zoom in. Is there anyone else like Tanner? I can't see nothing. That's me. Okay, so then look, you can play around with like the exact position of the checker. One thing that's interesting is where, like how it's played out is you can't really tell it's a checker.
You can shrink it down though.
To see more, which I love.
To see more of the checker and then just duplicate it.
Yes. Move this over, and then you can scale it down. So what she's saying is we could like
But I'm also not really feeling that behind
No,
it. But
I'm
just
not.
let's try something else.
Yeah, okay, so I'm just gonna delete this one. Also just wanna show y'all, you know, up here with this one, like this is a really fun like cheetah pattern or like abstract pattern, things like that. There's a lot of different ones. So we could just search through literally just any pattern.
Search the word pattern.
Yep, so when you search pattern, this is gonna give you a lot of patterns. So you could see there's so many different fun, like editable patterns, things like that you could pop in. These are all like dark. You could even be as
Maybe
specific
try
as you
searching
want.
wave pattern. I think that's kind of what that other one was a wave pattern.
Yes. So good. I'm gonna do wave pattern colorful. If I could spell colorful. Beautiful. Ooh.
Yeah, those are all really pretty.
Okay, let me scale this down.
I almost think that I would turn it on its side because right now the colors are going to be, you see how it's going to be one color through each word?
Yeah. So let me share with you how to do that. There's this little button here at the bottom middle. You can just rotate it. Look at that. So now what we would do is, if I was on the right page, look at this. Can I move it like that? Let me just
Yeah, you can move it down. You can just move it to each one.
Beautiful.
Just keep moving.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then what we're going to do is, see, look, that's one thing I love about it. I feel like I should have to have copied it from here.
Right.
And pasted it, but like you
don't
can
have
just
to.
drag. I love it, love it, love it. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna scale this down. Go make sure that it's good. And then look what we're gonna do. Go back to layer, send to back. This is a great example of one that you're like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be great.
And then you get
can't
there
read it.
and you can't read it.
Right? So crazy. So then we're like, okay, we're back on the hunt. We're back on the hunt. And this is part of the fun. Like this is literally part of the fun. So let's see what else we got.
We could also, no, we can't now that we've downloaded it.
I know we could change the color, which is fine. We can play with this challenge. One thing to know is like it's super easy. This could be one, but then the problem with this pattern is this middle color.
But you can change it.
Okay, let's change it.
You can change
this is
it.
so fun. This is like
Yeah.
something that Cricut could never.
I would change it to like that pink and burnt orange color. I would do like a,
Ooh, I'm loving that.
and I would even create a burnt orange almost.
Yeah, I'm like seeing if either one of these is even workable. Trying to see. So let's go ahead and click here.
Go to that first one.
Yes, and we're just go kind of
Make it a little darker.
Ooh, is this too?
Just bring it on down.
Too burnt?
Bring it on down. That's a little too much. On down.
You think
Let it
down?
go. Let it go.
You like that?
It's not showing up on there though.
I know. Wow, hasn't it shows up in the corner?
But it's not showing up on
I
that.
know.
Click on the image again. I don't know. Try changing it again. Interesting.
Hello.
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 Okay.
Well, now it changed my pink.
Yeah, I would change the pink to a little bit darker. Not brighter, darker. Down. On down.
Lauren, it's
Right
black.
there. It's not black.
It's getting there. It's dark.
Now, put it behind that though.
I know. See, that's the thing.
Trust the process. Trust me. Now put it behind there.
Ooh.
Tell me that doesn't look good.
It looks good. It looks good. It's dark. I love
I mean,
it.
you can lighten it though.
Yeah, you can. So that's super fun. You have this option. I love that you can play around with this and do so much of this. Barbara, if you want to register for your spot, go ahead and enroll. We just dropped you the link so you can enroll in our Canva course launching June 4th. So anyway, there's so many options. This is really, really fun as well.
It does look really dark. I don't know why. It doesn't look as dark. It didn't look as dark from back here.
Yeah, I think it's just the screen and then like Canva wasn't updating is fast. So that's also just a consideration.
But the cool thing is if you don't like it, you can change it to what you do like.
That is so cool. Now, the last thing we did after we picked our pattern is we just added some of these flowers. Like that's all we did. And again, the flowers are customizable too. So how did we get the flowers, right? How did we get the flowers? Okay, so the last thing we did was we just went over here and searched flowers. And you could see that you can just go search flower. And then look, here it is under graphic. You can scale it down. What color should our little flowers be?
I think it should just stay.
I love it.
You can also, one other thing that you can do if you want to create something that is very cohesive, if you, on that specific element, if you hover over that element on the tool, not there, over there where you chose it.
Oh yeah.
There's 3 dots that come up. You can search a collection.
Wow.
Down to the bottom,
Fun.
view collection.
And you can see, oh my gosh, so now all of the pieces
So
that
now
go
all the
together.
pieces that artist created for that collection can now be found together. So you could add like some other flowers or some greenery.
Yes.
And now once you have your pieces there, you can even go back and change your pattern on the background to match the colors on your...
Because I'm like, I love, 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 love. You know, you have all these little accessory pieces that you can play around with. So anyway, yeah, we just added some of these little flowers. So fun, so fun, so fun. I'm going to scale it down just a little bit more. Beautiful. Zoom in here.
And then I would, once you got that, I really do think I would go back and change those colors to match the colors on the front.
Yeah. So fun.
Put that, the little one that has the 3 flowers on it.
Where do you think they should go? I was
I
like,
liked
is this
it
too
down
much?
at the bottom where you had it.
I was like, is this too much?
Now what you can do is click your pattern that's behind there. If you can go to your layers.
Yes, my layers. Where are my layers?
Click on your image first of all.
Beautiful.
Now you should say see position.
Position.
Layers.
Layers. Is this not so fun?
And now you can select your
look, y'all,
pattern.
This is literally your layers panel. So if I wanted to be like, I want to play around with my pattern for a minute, I could literally just move it up and then boom, there's my pattern. I'm going to click right here.
And now all of your coordinating colors are there. So I would choose like that pink and yellow would be really pretty.
Ooh. Let's see.
I would probably go with the lighter pink beside of it right there.
Ooh.
Now move it back to the back.
Okay, now you're like, Tanner, how am I going to get back to the layers panel, right? Go ahead, click position, and it's already at layers, and we're just going to bring it back down. Ooh, y'all, come on. Come on. I love it. So good. So good. I don't like the flowers anymore.
But I like those colors.
I love the colors.
That's what I was thinking, like grab those colors, put it on your page, coordinate all of those colors, and then take those flowers off and do the little white flowers.
Yes, I love my little white flowers. So you could do this, you can customize the colors. Again, y'all, they're so, I'm just gonna do this one as like a period. Like, period, little flower period. So fun. Focus on the good, period. So much fun. So that's part of the process of getting to play around with this, having the fun with it. Rocking this design is so incredible. Again, I'm going to just go ahead and share with you how to take it to the next level, which is just click share, go to download. You're going to click all pages, unselect all, select current, okay, and download. What we're going to do then is take our image we just made and put it in Cricut. So super simple. We will click on our new project. We are going to cancel what we were doing and we're just going to upload it again. Just like we did already. Upload an image, browse, recent, and we need to find hello there too. Beautiful. Click open and continue. And then all you need to do is clean out the...
That's it.
Yep. And then look, you're good to go. Already removed it. You can double check and see it's such a high quality image. Press apply and continue. and it's a flat graphic. I am loving that new term for
Yep.
print cut.
I love it.
Love it, love it, love it. Upload. And here is your sticker. This is where you get to design it now and size it. So you would measure your book. Let's just, for purpose of the training, grab your tape measure. I have this beautiful
There should have been one in front of the little thing.
Love it, it's right here. We're just gonna measure this. So we're like, okay, we have about less than 5 inches to play with by 5 by 8. So you have 5 by 8 to work with. And then you could just size it. So you want it to be, you know, you could even unlock it. So you could kind of stretch it. And it's less than 5. So it's like 4.7 by 7, which would be a perfect size, okay? So this is super, super good. You can press make it, save the project, sticker, and then here you go. It'll be set up and it'll be ready to go. And as you can see, some of the designing that you have in your back pocket is different than Cricut. Like, I just want to be very upfront and honest that Canva is not in competition with Cricut.
Nope.
Almost every tool, Lauren, that we just used today, we couldn't have done just in Cricut.
No, there are some things that are similar with
Yes.
both programs. They might be called something different.
Yes.
But it's just so, and the reason that I think having a second design software in your back pocket is super important is because on the days that one of them is not working,
Sure.
you have the other one to work with.
Yes. I mean, you have more stability.
Yes.
You have more ability to customize. Like, I love that you could take that pattern and then just pop in 2 colors and it changed the whole pattern. You know, Maker's Gonna Learn makes it so easy to grab patterns and try out different ones, but we don't have the ability to do all to this level of custom.
Yes.
So this allows you to have another option. Like, I just wanna be very clear. I think before people are like, oh, I'm gonna learn Canva just to, you know, switch and like not use Cricut. That's not what we're teaching. That's not what we encourage. It is and, not or. It is Cricut and Canva. It's Maker's Gonna Learn and Canva. Like, it's not just Canva. It is not just Cricut. It is part of our tool belt. It is all working in partnership.
Yes.
It is super fun. How is this going to print and cut in Cricut? Julie, it is set up, ready to go.
Just like normal.
Just like normal. It would print it out. It would cut the full rectangle, and you'd be good to go. So,
So we're doing the first 10 minutes. We're gonna be doing pretty much basic Canva learning, how to do this, and it's gonna be fast paced. Because we only have 10 minutes. Now, with all of that being said, we're gonna go ahead and set our timer for 10 minutes. Once again, remember, we will have supply lists. We will send those out. We are doing 10 minutes. Keep your questions to yourself. That way I don't get distracted and I can go through as much as I can in Canva. So we're gonna start here in Canva. This is just your base. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, we are in the free version right now. We did create a free version, and I know we're gonna have a lot of people ask, do I go free? Do I go pro? So I'm gonna show you everything that you can do in the free version, and then we can talk about what you can do in the pro version here in a little bit. And from there, you can determine if you want to go free or pro. So starting out, here is what the home page of Canva is going to look like. You can come down here and you can find templates for inspiration, photo collages, desktop wallpapers. You can look through all of these different things for inspiration, or you can start from scratch. So what I always love to do is I love to come up here to the top right corner and first thing we're going to do is you're going to select create a design. Now you are going to create a design based on the size of your project. If you are creating something digitally, like a thumbnail or an Instagram post, you have suggested document sizes here, or you can come down here to custom size. Now, if we are doing print and cut specifically and you are wanting to do it on your Cricut, I suggest coming down here to custom size, selecting custom size, coming over here to your units. These are, the PX stands for pixels. Then we have inches, millimeters, centimeters. I always go inches. That's just how my brain works. But you don't have to. If you want to go centimeters, that's fine as well. I always do inches, and I always make mine 8.5 by 11 if I'm printing it on a piece of sticker paper. For example, you know that your sticker paper is going to be 8.5 by 11, so I'll just come up here and do 8.5 by 11 because that is the standard size of paper here in the US. So we're going to create our custom size, and we're going to select create new design. Now that is going to be portrait. If you want your design to be landscape, you can come back here to the home page and you can just transpose your width and your height to 11 by 8.5, and that is going to make your design landscape. So here we have a landscape, here you have portrait. Very, very simple, okay? So once you create your design, let's go through the basic functionalities that Canva has to offer. So starting out here on your left-hand side panel, what you're gonna see first is you're gonna see templates. And these are just templates that pop up that if you are creating something, here you can see you have resume templates, you have a sale graphic template. There's all kinds of templates that will pop up that you can look through. These are very easy to use. If you see a template that you like, for example, this resume template looks good, you can click on that. That's gonna pop that into your page exactly how it should be. From there, you can zoom in, and y'all, you can come in here. Let's do...
And one thing I really like about the templates is the suggested templates are based on the size that you put in there. So if you are working on a square document, it's gonna give you designs that are square.
Yes.
Versus what Lauren got of letter size.
So like if we come back here and let's say we go off of custom size, and let's say you square, for example, is an Instagram post. Let's select Instagram post. From there, when you see the square, you can see here that our templates do change and they look more like a sale post or something that you might see on Instagram. But you see how the templates or the designs change based on the size that you create, okay? So just know that that's gonna pop up there for you depending on the size of document that you create. Now, from there, we'll come back over here. If you do find a template that you like, you can come in here and you can change it. You can type in whatever you want, your profile. What I'm getting at is these templates are drag and drop. From here, you can change out the photo. There's lots of different things that you can do, okay? Now, I don't want to stick too long on that because we can go into a lot of detail about this, but I want to talk about all of the other things on here because, like I said, we only have 5 minutes left to learn. Next up is elements. So elements are going to be what you're going to find the most, what you're going to use the most of if you are creating PNGs for print and cut or SVGs, things like that. If you are a Canva Pro account user, you have access to over 4 million different graphics. That is insane to me. Now, if you are a free user, you still get access to, like, I'm wanting to say it's a little over 1 million graphics that you get, but it's not as many, but you still get lots of good things. So, Courtney, give me something to search graphic-wise.
An apple.
Apple. Beautiful. So, once you search it, you are then going to get here, you see graphics. Next, you have actual photos. Then you're going to have frames, videos, and audio, all related to graphics, okay? So these are all really cool. It does take them, it shows them in little bits. So what you can do if you know you want a graphic instead of an actual photo, you can come over here to see all, and that's going to give you all of the Apple graphics that you can use. Now, if it has a crown on it, it's a pro feature. If it doesn't have a crown on it, it is a free feature. So if it's free, you can pop it in there.
I love that apple.
That is a phenomenal apple. Another thing that I want to let you guys know is if you see that a graphic has multiple colors, that is an indication that that is an SVG graphic. From there, you can change the colors. You can change it into any colors that you want. Dude, I'm already down to 3 minutes. Okay, we're keeping going. Text is gonna be next. One of my favorite features about Canva is you can hit the T button on your keyboard and pop in a text graphic here. You're going to find all of these cool different fonts that are paired together. Some are gonna be pro, some are gonna be free. You're gonna be able to change your fonts here. There's so many good fonts in Canva. And then of course here are your basic, change your color, change your font size, bold, italicize, all of that stuff. Your alignment can be found here. List, line and letter spacing is also found here, and you can pop in some really cool effects. So the effects are probably one of my favorite things, and I'm gonna zoom in so you can see this. The effects are awesome. I love the effects on their text. We'll go into more detail about that later. You can upload your own images into Canva. As you can see, we have lots of different images that we have uploaded. You can also upload your own text. However, that is a pro feature. There is a draw feature, so you can draw in Canva. We don't do that a lot. I feel like we covered a lot, but we also just barely scratched the surface.
It's just like we scratched the surface and like gave you a little bit so that you can know how much there is.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if you saw it, but I'm gonna go back to the share screen. At the bottom, she didn't even get into the apps. So many cool apps.
Yes.
That do like all kinds of cool things.
Lots of really cool apps that you can use inside Canva. Yeah. Now, one of the things that Sin said a while ago that is also in our course, and I'm not going to go into detail about everything, but there are so many shortcut keys in Canva that I have started utilizing after building this course that literally would blow your guys' mind. Like normally, and it's the same across the board. So whether you're a Windows user or a Mac user, as long as you have your page selected, literally go overhead. All you have to do is press this button T, go back to the share screen. It's not even Command Control T, it's just the letter T, and your text pops right in.
Yeah, that's my least favorite thing about
going
like
back and
most
forth
shortcuts is that you need like both hands or like multiple fingers on each hand, and I'm just like.
So same thing with a square, except the letter that you press is R. For rectangle.
Okay.
And then pops in a square.
That's really cool.
An editable square.
Clearly I need this course.
Also circle is a C. There's lots and lots of cool things like shortcut keys that is very, very great in Canva that truly makes designing super, super fast. So we can just go ahead and talk about some of the other features that you have access to. So you do have your project folders, so you can create your folders and you can put everything.
Canva is so powerful. We use it and we have so many employees in there. A couple family members and friends in our account too. We literally upload so many things and make so many projects on a daily basis. I think that it's going to explode, but it never does.
No.
And like design space, when you have too many elements in a thing, it's like, I can't think, and it gives you like spinning wheels of death.
Yes.
I'm making Canva projects like 200 plus pages with lots of elements on each page, and it never has a problem. The only problem I've ever encountered is you can't use more than 100 fonts in a singular project, and we only found that out when we were making the font book. So.
Okay, so we have a lot of questions. First one, importing a JPEG and converting to a PNG. So what you would do is you would just import your JPEG image and then you would save it as a PNG from Canva. It's not going to, it will convert it, but it's not like it converts that, it just resaves it as a PNG. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It doesn't convert the file, it resaves the file.
I wonder if she's also asking about background removal, because I know that JPEGs can't have a transparent background and PNGs can. So that's the reason that a lot of people like PNGs better.
Yes.
So there is a background remover tool in there in the Pro version that is amazing.
There is, so we'll just go through a quick little upload and I'll show you how you can upload in Canva. And we'll also get to your other questions if you want, like we have people, if you want to do a sticker, how would you? So I'm gonna show you how to upload something really quickly. Oh, wow, we've got lots of different questions. Okay, beautiful. Let's start with literally downloading a file from the Makers Gonna Learn website and we're gonna upload it into Canva, okay? So we're gonna start at Makers Gonna Learn. We are gonna go to our cut files and then we are going to, let's just do this one because it's just right here. So what you're gonna do is we're gonna download it where it is a zip file. So we're gonna double click and upload and open that, okay? And then from there, we're gonna go back to Canva. We're gonna delete this. We are going to go to our left sidebar to our uploads, okay? From there, you're gonna go to, you can either go to upload file or much like Design Space, you can pull your Finder in and you can drag and drop. And I love that feature about Canva is because even if I was over here, for example, and I was creating some type of graphic, and let's just say I took a screenshot of the Makers Gonna Learn website. This is just to show you how you can do it. You can take a screenshot. So we're gonna screenshot that. I'm gonna pop back over to Canva. You see this screenshot, I can grab it and I can drag it back over there. Like I don't have to do anything different if you're taking like a screenshot. But like I said, if you're downloading a PNG or a file from our website, make sure you hit the download, open the zip file, and then from the Finder, bring it back over here. Now that this is in here, you can resize it to whatever you want. We did have a couple questions about offsets. So Canva does not have an offset like Design Space, nor is there a slice function. Because Design Space is kind of, the way that I like to explain Design Space is it is a consumer-friendly version of Adobe Illustrator. Very similar, it's more similar to that. So a lot of people who use Canva not everyone is using this for their die cutting machine. So that is the main reason why the slice function works for Design Space, but it is not in Canva. Now, you can edit photos, and we'll go back to the share screen. So now that that's in there, I can edit a photo and take part of it out, but do you see what's happening? Like it just cuts part of it off, but doesn't like.
But now, Lauren, go to edit photo.
Yes. So now, this is where I was wanting to get with offset.
Okay.
I'm going to show them how they can add their offset. So there's not an actual offset button. However, if you click on this and you come up here to edit photo, there are some features that are free, but there are some features in this edit photo portion that is not free, or that is part of the Pro. So background remover is a pro function. Keep that in mind, background remover is a pro function. Some of these other ones like the magic eraser, that could work for a slice if you wanted to slice something out of a photo. I don't normally use this. This is a lot of like magic eraser, magic expand, magic edit, all of these are kind of AI functionalities. However, this magic grab is really cool because what you can do is you can grab this text in here. You see how it's turning this purple? And now I can grab it. Watch. And now I can move it and take it out. Or I can change it. So I do like the magic grab functionality because like I said, I can take this, I can take it out, and then you can change it to whatever you want. And you can do that on a PNG, okay? So I'm just gonna go back, back, back. Oh, forward one. Oh no, let's just add this back in here. So I do like that magic grab personally. Now there are filters that you can put on your, yes, Kathy, I know it's not free. That is a pro feature, yes. There are filters that you can put on your photos. There are effects. So if you wanted to create a shadow effect, you can do that. This gives you a glow. You can change the size, the blur amount, lots of blur, no blur, intensity. You can even change the color. Now here is where you're going to find what we call a quote unquote offset. But it works a little bit different. One thing I want you guys to know and understand, you're not going to create your offset in Canva to cut on your Cricut. You're going to have to put your files together. You're going to then take them and I'll show you how to download them, but I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because remember, this is all part of the course as well. And then you will upload them into Design Space. And if you want it to cut with an offset, you have to do that in Cricut Design Space because the Cricut doesn't know what it doesn't know. It's just we're putting in the files, okay? The outline is what is going to give you your offset, okay? So you can change the side. The only thing that I personally don't necessarily care for, I love Canva. Let me be clear. Let me be perfectly clear. I love Canva. This part though, when you do your outline and you size it, you actually size down your image and your outline gets bigger. So like if I want it to stay that size, I need to make this larger and just add my does that make sense? So like it goes from the outside and puts your outline in. Do y'all see what it's doing?
Yeah, it like shrinks.
It shrinks your image to add your outline.
I've always known that it does that, but it never has bothered me before.
And I mean, some people it doesn't, and that's fine. It's just that would be the only thing I would, you know, if there was anything that I wasn't a huge fan of, it would be that. But it's really not even that big of a deal. And then you can change the color. You can change the intensity of your outline. You can have it more, transparent, or you can have it completely bold. That is going to be completely up to you. Okay? Yeah. Yes, so Deborah says, so you design in Canva and then download to cut it. Yes, you can design it in Canva, and then from there, if I wanted to now take this and put it, or if I wanted to add text or something around it, you can add that, and then when you are ready to download or you're ready to put it in print, ready to download, ready to do whatever you want, you're going to come up here to this share button. Now the share button is where you're going to find everything that you need. We're going to come down here to the download. You can also share this with other people. You can share the link. You can allow people access. all of those things from this share screen. But what you're gonna wanna do is come down here to download, okay? So now you can download it as a PNG. This is what I suggest if you are doing a print and cut image and putting it into Cricut. Now, one thing you cannot do, once again, let me be clear. If you start with a PNG file, you can't really then, I don't know that it does conversions from PNG to SVG very well. I mean, we can do it together and you can see what it looks like, but what I love is that you can start with a file in Canva that is an SVG and then really manipulate it the way that you want it. And then if you have the Pro version, you can download it as an SVG and then bring it into Design Space. Same thing with text. Texts are automatically going to be SVG, so you can download those and then make sure you choose SVG and then upload it into Design Space, okay?
Yeah, it'll probably let you save it as a SVG, and I guess technically it is an SVG, but it's not going to be like a Cricut-friendly SVG.
Right, because it's not going to, the reason being is because look at the details like on the hand, all of this stuff. I mean, this is, I guess, less detailed than some of the other PNGs, but it's going to be hard for it to do that, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to go to share, you're going to select download. Like I said, if we're doing it in Cricut as a print and cut, we highly suggest right here with the PNG, okay? If you are wanting to print straight from Canva but not cut, you cannot print from Canva to cut on your Cricut. You have to print from Cricut to cut on your Cricut, okay? I want to make sure we are aware of that. However, you can print some really cool stuff in Canva for your craft, like crafting. If you are printing from Canva, I suggest to do it as a PDF print. That is because all of these graphics right now are in RGB, okay? That means that it's best for digital use. So all of these colors, if you printed it right now and you selected PNG, it's probably not gonna communicate as well with your printer because like I said, your color profiles are in RGB. If you are printing from Canva, you need to select PDF print, and then you would change it from RGB to CMYK, which is a Pro feature, okay? That is because and the reason I'm going into detail about this is because I remember someone asked, how do you print from Canva? And I'm going through all of this together to show you guys, okay? This is a Pro feature, however, our printers are all CMYK print, or not all of our printers. Most everybody's printer is a CMYK printer. So that is why if you are going to print straight from Canva, you need to download it as a CMYK document, okay? Now, we're gonna go back to our download. That's just if we are printing from Canva. Now, I want to do a couple of these. So I'm going to download this one as a PNG. I do want to do it as a transparent background. Now, if you don't have Pro, you can do it with the white behind it and then just get rid of it in Cricut Design Space. But if you do have Pro, always click that transparent background and then we're going to select download. Once that downloads, we can then come over here to Design Space. We'll go to New. We're gonna go to Upload. We're gonna grab our Finder. This is the one that I selected. We're actually gonna click Upload Image and then drag in. That is one that, okay, there it is, beautiful. Okay, here you go, PNG.
Yay.
Continue. You can see it doesn't have a background. Apply and continue. We want this as a flat graphic. See, do you see what happens if it is, you see how this is more or less what the SVG, I'm assuming, from Canva would look like, because it started out as a PNG, okay? So now you're gonna select flat graphic and continue and upload. And now you are ready, once it pops up, here it is. If you want it to cut straight on that red, you don't have to add an offset. You can just add bleed to it and you can cut. If you want it to cut past the red, you would then add an offset. But we've kind of already added an offset in Canva, so you really wouldn't have to. All you have to do from this point is resize and then go to make it, and you can cut as many stickers as you want, okay?
You're gonna be designing...
Really quickly, before you tell me that, someone asked, how do you flatten text in Canva? You actually don't, there is not a flatten. What you would do is you are just gonna create your design and you're going to download it as a PNG, and that flattens it for you. Sorry.
All right. You're gonna be designing us a printable calendar. Okay.
Okay.
You don't have to design it from scratch necessarily.
Okay.
Okay. But you have 10 minutes, so get out your handy dandy timer.
A calendar.
A calendar. Just a 1 month, like what's this month?
But it can be like, it could be squares, it could be whatever, but it has to be a month, not a week.
Right.
Okay.
A month, 1 month calendar.
Okay.
You don't even have to put in all the days. Like it could be more generic if you want, and you fill in the days after you've printed or
Beautiful.
whatever.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna go to this design. I want it. I want it to be landscape.
You want it landscape. Okay.
Okay. 10 minutes. We're designing a printable calendar. And go. Okay. So first thing I'm gonna do, I will talk through this.
Yeah. You don't have to necessarily wear your teacher hat. Wear your quick designer hat.
Okay.
I'm loving it already.
Here is where I would start. If I had to do a printable calendar, I would personally start in my templates and then I would go from there. This one's kind of cute. Yeah, this one's cute. Okay. But let's say I wanted to change the, no, template style. Yeah, I kind of, okay. Just so you guys know, you can shuffle through the, I liked the original. Where did the original go? Let me just, is that the original?
Yeah.
Were these those don't look right. Let me go back. No, it's not. Okay. This is.
Wow. So you already did it in 30 seconds. You got a printable calendar.
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, I have a printable calendar. I could go, I could go more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. I don't want it to be February 2022.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do 2024, and then you can change your dates. Let's zoom in. Let's say,
Maybe use the layers.
yeah, okay, so I'm
But
gonna go.
you can leave the dates where they are.
But if you wanted to
What?
choose the dates, you can
Yeah.
go in there and edit the dates and move them around.
Yeah, or retype over them.
Or
so they're in the
retype.
spot.
That's not gonna work. I would personally go to, let's go to position. This is the layers panel. So you can see here we have a range and we have layers. So then you would just find whatever number you have to change and change it from there. You can see we have lots and lots of layers. You can also lock your layers. So if we wanted to select all of these squares and we have them in place exactly where we want them, we can lock all of these.
Once you lock something, can you change the color?
You can
of
group it, and then we can lock it to the back, so now it doesn't move at all. So even when I'm clicking and dragging, that background is not moving. So what I just did is I selected everything, I grouped them all together, and you can see from our position panel, Um,
I saw like a group icon
where are they?
in like the middle.
Is that,
Yeah.
there's, this is my locked layer, and these are all grouped together. So you can see that we can group them and lock them. And now I can come in here and I can change these numbers a lot easier. Actually, I'm going to, it says it's locked, but I'm gonna move it. What did I just do?
I have no idea.
I just did something. I'm gonna move it to that, let's unlock it real quick. Okay, so it's grouped, but it's not locked. So now what I can do is move it all the way to the back
Yeah.
here. And now I can lock it to the back so it doesn't move. So now everything in front of it is clickable, and it's a lot easier to manipulate that way. You can also change out your stuff up here. So let's
Yes,
go to our
please do.
elements, banner. Let's do pin it banner. Pin it banner here.
Oh, you really like the vibe.
See all. I kind of like this banner a little bit. Actually, I want to copy. I want to copy this style. So how you would copy style is grab this copy style. You see how it looks like it's painted now, and I can paint that banner. No, I can't.
It's not.
It's not an SVG. I thought I could, but I can't.
No.
Don't like that one either. No. I like this one. I guess we'll just leave that one there. And I think February is more like the month of love. So let's go hearts. And let's just add in, and what I can do is even like around the 14th, I can bring this, and I'm going to 3 dots, send it to back, layers, send to back, so it's behind. And now I'm gonna take my transparency and I'm gonna make that a little bit more transparent so that that's all there on the 14th. Or let's say you have a birthday, somebody's birthday on a certain day. Let's do
Mine's on the 16th of
Oh.
February.
birthday hat for Courtney. So let's grab us a birthday hat on the 16th. Add it here. Once again, we'll change it. I'm gonna change their transparency. This one is one I can copy style. So what I can do is I can take this. I don't want the little, it's fine. Let's do right here. I want to copy that style, copy those colors, and paste it. Wow. That went way different than I thought. So let's just change out these colors to what's on the, and this one can be green or purple, green. And then I'm going to, once again, the transparency comes down. Then I'm gonna grab a text. I'm gonna do Court's birthday. We're gonna bring it down here. I'm gonna zoom in. BIR. I'm gonna hit enter. I'm gonna make this big. I'm gonna move this in front of it. Go to effects. I don't want that one. No. Let's change the color first. I like the pink. And then we'll come back to effects, maybe do an outline that way. Beautiful. Now we can do like a cute purple.
Oh, yay.
Now we've got Court's birthday here. You can like, it's just, I still have like 3 minutes left.
Yeah, maybe change out the stuff at the bottom.
Yeah, okay, so let's go with a different rainbow. I don't know. Honestly, if it was up to me, I would do something like this.
Yeah.
And I would take these guys out. I would add this here, make it big, probably like that. Move it to the back, change out the colors. We'll leave that blue, do that, that, and that. Actually, I think I want to do yellow. Yellow? No? No? Sure. Opacity, bring it down just a little bit so that you can write on it. Then we're going to go back to our elements, which we did retro. See all graphics. One thing that I do love is like if you see something you like and you click on it, you can get magic recommendations for things that fit and then bring it in.
Super cute.
And then we can add that there, zoom back out, see what we like. Let's change out these guys. Actually, let's go ahead and change out the pennant too.
Thank you, I did not like that.
Okay, let's do this one. And let's change it to this way up here in this corner. And let's copy this style, put it on this one.
Yes, I was, okay.
Send it to back and actually make it like up here.
Beautiful.
Done.
She did it, guys. She did it.
Did it. So you can see how fast, like I really could have been done with this. I could have just chosen a template and changed it around a few little things and been done in like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
But to really customize it, it's just one of those things. It's still like, it's so fast.
And it's so fun. That's why it takes so long, because you're like, ooh, let me change this and let me change this. And if you give the mouse a cookie.
I know. And today, can we talk about our project today?
It's different. This is different than what we normally do.
It is different than what we normally do. We're actually not going to be using our Cricut at all today. So this is something that you are going to be able to do inside Canva, and you can actually do it in the free version. Not a problem at all. I already saw some people in the comments saying they were so excited about learning this technique. I think you all are going to be like extremely impressed on how simple this is.
Yeah.
Like truly so simple.
And it looks so high end
and
fancy.
Here is what we are going to be making today. This is a cute little picture of two little adorable little boys down at the lake. What I'm going to be showing you is I'm going to be showing you all how you can add this faux matting around your picture just to give it a lot more of a high-end look. Now this, and I'm just going to be real honest with you guys, obviously this is the trend, correct me if I'm wrong, but matting that is like off-centered, I still need to come around to it.
Like matted towards the top of the frame.
I'm just gonna be real honest. Lauren still needs a few days to come around to it. Because I wanna take this picture and center it.
Well, and sometimes it looks good even to do like a little handwritten date underneath it.
Now that, if there was like a little handwritten date, or like if it looked more like a Polaroid where it said, the boys at the lake, and then a handwritten date here.
Yeah.
I think I could get down with it.
Yeah.
But this is gonna be completely up to you. You don't have to do the matting this far up. You can do it a little more down, whatever floats your boat. You are going to be able to do. Now I'll go overhead and I'm gonna show you guys what this looks like overhead. So it really does give like a true watercolor effect to it. And I love how it looks. And we are going to be learning how to do this together.
Love it.
So, all you're gonna need is you're gonna need whatever frame, whatever size. This is a 11 by 14 frame. Is that right?
If you took Maker University, you may have one.
Yes, this is an 11 by 14 frame. On top of that, you are going to need some type of like canvas book. We got this from Hobby Lobby. This is actually a watercolor canvas. So if you have done watercolors before, or if you've painted before, you know that watercolor canvas is made for wet media. So just be aware that this canvas specifically is going to bleed together a little bit more than a normal canvas. And let's go to our share screen. And I'm gonna show you, if you don't want the watercolor canvas and you want like a painted look, but you're not really into like the colors bled together so much, I would suggest getting this canvas pad. This canvas pad is made for acrylic paints and things like that. So it's not made for wet media.
To bleed.
It's not made for the colors to bleed and blend. So just know that this is the one. I would get this Master's Touch canvas pad, not the watercolor. That's going to be completely up to you. You can choose your dimensions. The one that we have is a 12 by 16. Now you are going to need, and we'll go back to one, you are going to need a wide format printer if you want to make this large. Now, you don't have to have a large format printer. You can do this on smaller pieces of paper. If you can find canvas paper that is smaller, just know you can do it on a smaller printer, but I would suggest having some type of rear feed printer. I don't know that this is going to pull through like a tray, a bottom feeding tray. I do think you're gonna have to have some type of rear feed printer. And if, like I said, if you want to print this large, you are going to have a large format printer. Otherwise, you will just buy smaller canvas pads. That's it. There should be 8 by 10 canvas pads that you can purchase, I would assume. And we can look here in a minute on Amazon to see if we can find some. But just depending on what type of printer you have, we just use a standard inkjet printer for this. Not super, what was I trying to say? Just a standard, you should be able to use what you have.
Yes.
Okay? That's what I was trying to say. Canvas is cotton, and you cannot, you can sublimate on cotton, but it's just going to fade and wash out. So we're just gonna say, you can try it. You're more than welcome to try it. But we are just using our standard inkjet printer for this. Now, a lot of what we are going to be doing is going to be, like I said, we're doing everything today in Canva, and we're doing it in an app on your phone. So let me preface all of this by saying everyone here in our office has an iPhone. So the app that we found after doing a little bit of research today looks to be only an Apple app. However, we have done a little bit of digging, and let's go back to our share screen. If you have an Android, we found that this app you can find in the Google Play Store, the Watercolor Effect and Filter, and we'll click on this. This one looks like it does the same thing that the Water Brush app that we're gonna be using on our phone today will do, okay? So this is, if you have an Android, I would suggest starting with this app. It's called Watercolor Effects and Filter. And we'll go back to one. If you have an iPhone, the app that we're gonna be using today is called Water Brush. This is where you're going to turn your photo into a watercolor type image. Both of these apps are gonna be free to use. It does download with a watermark on the bottom, but I'm gonna show you how we did it how we set up our picture in Canva first. That way we can come back and crop that watermark out of it so it's not on there, okay? Heat transfer paper, I'm not really sure what.
Like, you could put heat transfer paper on the canvas if you didn't have wide format, but it doesn't look as like artistic. It doesn't look like a painting when you do that. She's like saying print it on heat transfer paper. and then put it on the canvas.
Oh.
If you don't have wide format printer.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, you could do that.
could do
but
it,
we're
yeah.
actually, and we'll go back overhead. You can see this is, we've added this faux mat to it. So this is printed on it, the faux mat. And you can change the faux mat to any color that you want, in all honesty. So we'll go back to our share screen. We're gonna start in Canva, and we're gonna start building all of this together, okay? So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna come over here to create a design. So I'm going to create a design. I'm going to come down here to more, and I'm going, oh, no, not more. I'm gonna come up to from more, and I'm going to create a custom size. Now I want this custom size to be the same size as what I'm going to be printing on, which today I'm changing my units to inch, and it's going to be a 12 by 16 inch canvas pad. So that's what I'm printing on, and that's what I want the size of my design to be. So we're gonna select create new design. From there, you can see we have our page, and I will zoom in just a little bit right here. But the first thing we're going to do is we are going to add our photo into Canva. And here, I'm gonna get into my phone. We're actually gonna be I'm gonna do a landscape today, because I think a landscape is going to be beautiful with this watercolor effect. So I'm gonna be doing landscapes, florals, pictures of people like from the back would be beautiful. Like I said, it's kind of similar to like AI, or not similar to AI, but you know how AI kind of messes up the faces?
Yeah.
The only thing with this is when you are doing this watercolor effect and you want it to truly look like a watercolor painting, and we're printing it, it's just those faces bled and they just didn't look as good. Right. So you do have to be kind of careful about what photo you choose. So I am going to choose a photo. Let's do we want a floral or do we want a landscape? Like a floral like this?
That's pretty.
Or like a landscape like, where's it at? Ooh. Like that one.
Ooh, that one.
That one? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we got it figured out. We're gonna do a landscape. I'm gonna airdrop this to the computer. Oh, there it is. I was about to say, accept.
And if you don't have AirDrop, you can email the photo to
Yes.
yourself.
If you don't have AirDrop, I would definitely email the photo to yourself. That way you have it on your computer. But the reason that I'm doing this is because we want to put it in this first. And kind of size it the way that we want to. That way we can crop out that bottom portion that's going to have the watermark on the bottom, okay? So I'm just gonna drag and drop my landscape photo that I want to use in here, and we're gonna pop this in our design. Now, this landscape photo I truly need to resize this, and I need to do it. If I were doing this, I would personally do it sideways. So this is a pro feature, just so you know. I'm going to change this, and I'm going to change it to 16 by 12, and what that's going to do is, ooh, why did it do that? It's just going to turn it landscape.
Right. Or you can just rotate your picture.
You can
You just have to work on it sideways.
You could rotate your picture, but I personally don't want to work on the side, like turning it to the side. So I'm just going to resize this design, and you can see that it's just turned it landscape. Okay.
Looks good.
Janet, you can use your iPad if you want to. If you know how to work Canva on your iPad, you can actually do all of this on your iPad from between Canva and your phone. You could do it all on your phone if you wanted to. We're just doing it on our computer because that's how we can share our screen. So now you can size your design the way that you want it. If you want a smaller photo and more of the matting, you're just going to size it that way. Another thing that I did want to try is I wanted to see if Canva has canvas, like just a canvas background that we can do instead of having to do all of this through the app. So I'm just gonna type in canvas.
Also, they can't see the white area around the photo. I don't know why. We need to figure out a solution for that.
Huh?
Like they can't see the white area surrounding
This?
Yes.
They can
There's
just-
no separation between that and the other shade of white. Yeah, there's no, you can't see it.
On the screen?
Yeah,
How?
I don't know. I was just going to tell you to either change the color of it momentarily so they can see it.
Oh, this and that.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
okay.
can't see like how much matting you have around your sunset.
Oh, okay. Okay, so like,
Yeah, just something so they can see how much space you've got.
so this is how much matting I have around it currently. Okay? That's just so you know. Right now I'm trying to come into my, you see how this gives you the faux canvas effect?
Oh yeah.
And then I'm gonna move it to the background. Is that better?
I'm not caught up yet, but
So like, Canva does have like matting. Like you could do this one. There's lots of different things that you can do. I kind of like that one.
yeah.
I think I'm just gonna use that one. Okay. So now, okay. Now that we can see, what we're gonna do is, and actually what I would do to begin with is, because you do have to leave about we're gonna have to crop this about 2 inches from the bottom, because when we bring it into, when we bring it back into Canva, we'll have to crop this bottom part out and size it to make it fit. So I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller than what I truly want it to be. And we'll go ahead and center it. Or you can pull it up to the top and crop it and then pull it down, either way. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull it up to the top. Just trust me on this one, okay? Courtney has her off-centered matting, which is lovely. I'm gonna do centered matting.
So you're gonna, before you go to the app, you're gonna shrink it and pull it up a little bit.
Yes, before I go to the app, I'm shrinking and pulling it up a little bit, because you wanna leave about 2 inches on the bottom to be able to bring this and crop it up. And then after you crop it, you're gonna have to make, and it won't just do this, it'll make the whole thing larger. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So that's what we're doing. We're just going to, or you could even do it that way and leave this at the bottom and then we'll crop it out. Either one will be fine. To not confuse you, we're bringing it all the way to the bottom. Okay? Beautiful. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to share this. We're going to download it as a PNG. You don't have to worry about a transparent background. Once we get in the app, if for some reason it changes this canvas matting around it, we may go back and do it as a transparent background, but we're just gonna play around with it right now. So we're just gonna download it as a PNG, not a transparent background, and we're going to select download. Now, after I download it, I am going to send it back to my phone. And the reason that I'm doing that is because we are working on an app on the phone, okay? If you are doing this on your tablet, you'll just have to toggle back and forth between an app and Canva. So I'm just going to airdrop this to myself. Accept. And then we will go overhead and we will start working here. Where is the airbrush? Watercolor. Water brush. Okay, let's just go ahead and show you. This is what, hold on. Can they see this, Sadie? This is what the water brush app looks like if you are on an Apple device. And we can go back to share screen. This is the watercolor effects and filter that you have on the Android, okay? We're gonna go back overhead. We're gonna go to the water brush app. Skip, skip, okay. Now, once you're here, you are just going to go to load from photos. This one is the one we are using. It's going to bring it in. You can see, you can zoom in and look at all of the different types that it has. So you can play around with the different types that they have in here to make it look to your standard, whichever you want. I'm just gonna click through some of these and see which ones I like.
I love that it gives it like a rigid edge.
I know, I do love that. Some of them give more of a rigid edge than others. So you can really play around with this and figure out which one fits the vibe that you're going for. Now, some of them will have different, like you see how the matting, I added the matting, like if you like that, you may have to bring it in and crop it all the way down if you just want the picture and not the matting around it. So you can just play around with it. I think I saw one earlier that I really liked that we're gonna go back to. I don't hate that one though, at all. Not a fan, not a fan. Nah. Some of these are not good, let me just say. Some of them are not cute. Some of them are better than others. Like none of those I really liked. Here's the one. I do kind of like that detailed one. I think it looks like a super good like watercolor, but let's go back to.
Some of those get crazy.
Natural is too washed out for me, I feel like, with this one. The pretty doesn't look as much like a watercolor. I think I want to go with the detailed one. I think I like the detailed one. Oh, that one's kind of cute too. I don't know.
I'll also say in the thumbnail, I used a photo of Georgia and that puppy. Mm-hmm. And we were playing volleyball, so there's like a bunch of people playing volleyball, and I used the magic erase in Canva to get rid of them. So if you have photos that like have people in the background that you don't want, you can erase them in Canva.
Yeah, no, I think I like the detailed myself. Now you can go to edit if you want to. So let's go back to the stylized. Like if there was, say this one, if you liked one of these, but you didn't like the outside, I wonder if you can go to edit.
And crop it.
Oh, magic eraser is you can try it. Oh, no, cancel. It looks like you have to pay for all of these down here, but like the brightness, saturation, and all that you can. So let's go back. I'm gonna choose the one that I want. I'm just going to literally choose this watercolor filter that I want. You see how it's done this and it looks like a really cool watercolor painting now. And I'm just gonna click finish, okay? If you want to remove the watermark, it is going to cost you, but that's why I said we're leaving some room on the bottom because we're gonna crop it out in Canva. So I'm gonna just click no thanks. I'm going to share this, airdrop it, and then airdrop it to our computer. We'll go back to our share screen. Here we're going to save it to our downloads, or you can email it to yourself, either one. It'll both work. So we're gonna go back into Canva. We're here. Now what we can do is we can delete that out. I'll leave this gray so you can see the difference, and we are going to pop into our Finder, and the one that we just did in the water brush app, we're gonna drag and drop into Canva. And now we can add this to our image, and you see what it did. We're gonna have to crop this down. So we're gonna crop it here, crop this up, crop out the sides, and now all we have to do, and we'll zoom back out, is enlarge it so that it fits. And I still should have come down with it a little bit more. It's a little off-centered. You see that?
Yeah.
It's okay though. It's not, now this kind of off-centered I'm fine with.
Why don't you add some text?
That would be cute.
Like Jubilee or like a handwritten script font or something.
So if you wanted to add a text, what you can do is I just popped in a T for text, okay? And then you can type in a little something about what this photo is. And this was actually on my Hawaii trip last year. So I don't know. What would we want to say?
I would put like wherever it is, comma, Hawaii 2023. Like I wouldn't put like a quote. I would just put where it's at. Like, is it Honolulu?
This was in Honolulu.
Is it like a special beach or I don't know. I guess you could put a quote, but I like when it looks like an old scrapbook and someone just went in and like written in the text underneath a photo.
And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come here to my text. I'm going to go to handwriting, like that right there.
Yes, exactly.
That text is Beth Ellen. It's actually a Canva text. Yeah.
Is it? Mm-hmm. I've just seen that font for so long.
Yeah, it's a Canva text.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just gonna size it down and I'm gonna place it like just right here underneath it, but I'm lining it up kind of to the left. And let's actually bring it down a little bit further away from that, just in case. This is the only issue is I am afraid, I hope that the font, I hope it doesn't bleed.
Yes.
So we'll find that out today in just a second together. And that's it.
It's cute.
That's all you have to do.
I love it.
Okay. So now we're going to share. We are going to download this as a PNG just like it is. We are going to download and then we're going to open this up like this. And then we are going to print this. So I'm going to be printing this on our Epson or Canon TS 9500 series. Okay. This is not 8.5 by 11. You are going to have to change the size of your paper. Will you search, what is 12 by 16 paper? Is that it's not A4, is it? No.
No.
We may have to do a custom size.
I don't, canvas paper.
Yeah, so we're just gonna come in and add a custom size. So I'm just gonna type in 12 by 16 right here. And okay. So I now have, where'd I go? 12 by 16.
I don't see any names for it.
Jan, I am printing from Canva. You have to download before you can print. So now this next, why does it say mug? 12 by 16 and it says mug.
Maybe someone could put a custom print setting in at some point.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to go to media and quality. You do not need to turn it to best, okay? We need this on normal because what happens when you print best quality, your printer puts out more ink. So we want to leave it at normal. We want to feed this from the rear tray and we need to go, I want to actually print this on, I want to print it on glossy paper, but it says photo, so I'm just going to leave it on photo paper because if you print on glossy paper, it also doesn't put out as much ink if you print on glossy because The more ink that's on glossy paper, it will run. So anyway, we're leaving it on normal and printing on photo paper, okay? And now we're just going to print.
Beautiful.
Y'all, that's other than putting it in our frame.
I mean, that's it.
That's it. That's it. And I'll show you, I'll take this out of the frame while that is printing. I will go ahead and take this out of the frame. We did use some double-sided adhesive. Yes, we used our ATG gun. Sorry, it is not available anymore. So any kind of double-sided adhesive will be fine. But we did use double-sided adhesive for this project just to put it on. Come on. Seriously? There we go. And all we did is we taped it down to the back of our frame, just like that. You can see there's the double-sided adhesive, just so it would stay down really well. Yes, Kelly, we are using a large format printer. If you don't have a large format printer, Alicia linked 8x10 canvas paper that you can use in a regular size printer if you don't have the capability to print large format. However, I would suggest printing from the rear tray no matter what. And Alicia is out there getting the print for us. If anybody has any questions,
You're gonna have to take them words off.
You're gonna have to take them off? That's what I thought.
It looks like we left the bleed on in the print and cut.
That's what I was afraid of. That's what I was afraid of. How bad is it?
It's awful.
That's what I figured. Okay, so if you have watercolor paper, you can't use words. We'll just go back to share and download. Download as a PNG, open it up, print this. We are not printing on letters. We're gonna pick mug because I forgot to change it, 12x16. We are going to be feeding from the rear tray, normal quality. Let's try plain paper today and just see what it does. Oh shit, shoot.
Straight to jail. Straight to jail, Lauren McCoy.
I have to put another.
Now Lauren's true colors are showing everybody.
I have to put another piece in there because I'm printing it again.
Oh shoot!
Don't do what I just did.
This is, I guess, an adult show now.
No, it's not. I also think that black makes it run more, so I may have chosen a bad photo. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Listen, if that's the worst word that ever comes out of my mouth, I'll be doing fine. Okay, so this is why we don't do the words on the watercolor paper. And do you see, I also change it, I changed it to plain paper this time to see if the plain paper does any better. I may have chosen a, I don't know that if you have an image that has a lot of black, let me try that flower picture.
You think the background will
I think it's the black.
Too much?
I think it's the black that bleeds so bad.
Yeah.
I think the black bleeds.
I mean, you can definitely tell the other colors bled, but the black is just so prominent. It shows more.
Right. So I'm gonna test another photo really quick. Just give me a second. So I'm gonna we'll go overhead. Let's go to new. We're gonna discard this one. Let's load from photos and let me go to albums because I know that it's in my favorites album. Here we go. Okay, can you all see this? Can I see this all right-ish? Okay, so I'm this time going to choose one of these like floral that doesn't have a lot of, This is also why we start doing this in Canva, because I mean, I can do this, but I'm gonna have to crop out this bottom half, which is fine. We'll just go from here. So I'm gonna choose one of these that doesn't have as much black in it, because the black tends to bleed too pretty bad. And it's the black that bled and made Tanner look like he had no teeth. So anyway, let's see which ones I like. I liked detailed in the other one.
Like in my brain, I'm getting a Sharpie and like giving this a little bit more fine lines around the palm tree leaves.
I know.
Just where it touches the blue, because it's like...
This is what it looks like. Okay, so here's the difference. This is, I printed with photo paper setting. This I printed with plain paper setting, but you all can see like the black is just going to bleed, period. And with this watercolor paper, you see how the ink is kind of saying wet? This is because this paper is made for wet media, so it stays wet for a while for you to manipulate it. And then if you've ever done watercolors, you know that this paper, it will stay wet so you can manipulate your actual watercolors. And then it will dry down and it will look more like this gray once it dries down. So choosing a photo that doesn't have a lot of black, if you have the watercolor paper, is going to be good. So let's try, I'm gonna have you
put another piece in?
I mean, why not? Why not? I'm gonna do one that doesn't have as much black in it. Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
This one still, shoot. This one still has quite a bit of black in the background, but what we can do is we can come in here to edit and we can adjust this black point and make it a lot lighter. That is exactly what I would do if you do have one that has a lot of black in it. I would adjust the black point. So if you go, the stylized is where you pick which one you like, and then you can go to edit, and if you swipe all the way to the right, it says black point right here. Bump that black point down, and that's going to take the blackness like out of the background of this photo. So now I can apply that. I can go back to the stylized, and I can start choosing, well, once you hit that, it kind of reverts back.
And honestly, if you guys are worried about it showing up, or like how it's going to print, you can put like 4 of the same image on one piece of canvas so you can see, and then just remember which one was where, and then use those print settings every time.
I'm digging like the detailed for some reason. I like it.
I feel like if you put more detail on the image, it'll soften when you do the watercolor.
Yeah. So let's do that. Let's hit finish. Let's share this. And we'll airdrop it to here. We'll go back to our share screen. We're gonna accept that, save it to downloads, come back to Canva. Now this is where, see that photo that I chose, we'll try it. Let's go to Finder. We'll bring this in. Now I'm gonna have to zoom in so I can crop this, and I'm gonna crop this out at the bottom. Like this. Now I am gonna have to delete this out. And we're gonna have to go back to our elements, and we'll add in our canvas to the back like this. And then I will move it back. We'll just leave it this way. I mean, it's, make it maybe a little bit more square.
A part of me wonders if you wanted to have rough edges and you, for some reason, had to crop off what they did in the app, you could just pop that into like a rough edged frame on Canva.
Yeah, so let's do this. We're just playing around at this point. I'm gonna go look at frames. They do have some like rough edged frames. If you wanted it to be rough edged, you can. And then you would just pop that in there. It's a little too much rough edge for me.
Yeah.
But
just an option.
You know, an option. But what's gonna happen is this is gonna bleed either way. So it'll kind of look like it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna have a little bumpy edge.
Okay, so now let's try this one. Download. And download. Open.
I've been taking pictures of sunsets on the way to my house at the same spot for the last like 6 or 7 years. And I want to do a whole wall art piece in our living room of all the different seasons of the same view. And this would be such a cool way to do it.
Yeah. Okay, so we're printing this one that doesn't have as much black in it.
Okay, let's see what happens.
Lorraine says, I would just probably add the saying using HTV. You absolutely can. That is completely up to you. This is what it's going to look like as it starts drying down. You all can see it kind of looks, honestly, I'm not hating it as it's drying down.
Me neither. It looks good.
Like,
I mean,
I'm
from
not
far away, it really looks good.
Well, it just looks like a true watercolor painting to me.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get very detailed with your watercolor, but
right. It's more of an abstract.
It's more of an abstract anyway.
Yeah.
So it's up to you. Now, you will have to cut it down to fit your frame. For example, this one, we will have to cut down quite a bit. And what I would do if I were you, once it has dried and you know that that's not, see, the ink on it is still not dried down completely because look at my fingers. Like just touching it, I'm still getting ink on my fingers. So you definitely need to wait until it dries down. But what I would do after it does dry down, if you do have a lot of black ink, and I'm gonna leave this one to the side and I'll show you what I would do on this one, is I would try your best to center this the way that you want it. And then from there, it's not centered. So what I'm doing now, and we'll go to one and show you, I'm just holding this up to the light so that I can actually see the, and you're not gonna be able to, but this is my trick. I would hold this up to the light and I can see my margins on the side is here. So I know that these are pretty even. So now I know I can come back over here. I'm gonna flip this upside down while holding it down. And I'm just going to take, I'm just gonna take this, mark my edges, and very lightly mark your edges, just like that. And now you can cut them off. So that one didn't even make a mark, but that's what I would do as far as centering it up. And then we have a, I don't even remember what size frame that was.
Much better.
Oh, y'all, look how much better that turned out. After taking the black point out of that.
Yeah.
That's stunning.
Yeah, much better.
Love.
Also, I remembered we had this workable fixative, which is like to spray on watercolor and stuff. So if you wanted to really seal the deal, you could spray this over your art.
Oh yeah.
It's really for people who want to like go revisit their art later and like change things and stuff, but it like it's kind of like a sealant. It's a weird medium, but.
Daisy did ask, and I think I missed it, is it free to do all of that on the app? Yes, it was free to do all of that. It just gives you that, watermark on the bottom. So I would still like, and you can see how this, like in Canva, this one didn't even look like it had rough. It did not have rough edges.
It was completely straight.
It was completely straight, but when you print it, it still gives it that rough edge look. But taking that black point out is makes it so much better. I mean, and you can do that on your phone. So let's go back and let me show you guys how you can do it on your phone. Let me find my photos. So like this image, and this is the one that we started with, on an iPhone at least. And I'm sure if an iPhone can do it, an Android can do it. Because I do, let's be honest, I love my iPhone and I would not trade it for a Samsung or an Android or anything. But Samsung has been doing stuff that iPhones are just now coming out with.
Yeah.
If we're being honest. So anyway, you're just gonna go to edit. And then at the bottom, you can see when you scroll over, black point, you need to lessen your black point. And that's gonna give you a better print. So that's what I did with this photo, is I had to lessen the black point because the black ink is what runs and that is what smears. So this is an example. You see this text, it was black and it looks like we left bleed on if we were making a sticker in Cricut Design Space. So the black is what bleeds pretty bad. If you wanted to try text not in black, you could do that. I still think text is going to bleed. I think your best bet is going to be leaving it, and I think it would be super cute if you just went in and like wrote it yourself. Like cursive handwriting on the bottom.
Like with a Sharpie pen or something?
Yes.
Yeah, that would look good.
Yeah. So that's it. After you cut this down to size for your frame, like I showed you all I would do, once again, if you missed it, we'll go back to one. If you're wanting to center it up, I would take the back of your frame. Because, and the reason I say this is you could take this, we could lay it over top of that, but y'all, you're just kind of guessing because your picture may be a little off-centered, so that's why I say put it in front of it. I know you can't see that shadow, but I can see the shadow and I can hold it up to the light and I can center it on either side. Once you have it centered, take it, flip it upside down, mark your margins, and then cut around it and tape it down with some double-sided adhesive.
Beautiful.
Carol asks, has anyone ever used your Cricut to write on the watercolor paper? Well, let's just get a Cricut pen and let's try it. We'll go overhead, we'll use it on this one that I messed up, and I'll just write it in my handwriting and see how it works.
Wait, I thought she was saying like use the Cricut to actually like.
Well, it might, but like if it's gonna bleed with my handwriting, it's gonna bleed with the Cricut.
Smart.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as of right now, it's bleeding a smidgen, but not enough to matter.
Yeah.
So like, whoop, I forgot the last part of my M. I mean, it's bleeding, but not, like, I would much rather prefer like this.
Yeah.
You just have to be careful. Like, my B was a little bit too close together. You just need to leave space. You know what I mean? Anyway, you get what I'm saying. Just be careful.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could take your, you could have your Cricut right, but it would be lining it up on this would be hard. Like putting it on your mat, lining it, putting it exactly where it needs to go, that would probably be super hard.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Love it. It looks good just handwritten.
Kathy says, using the watercolor effects and filter app, I'm not sure why you need Canva. It is because if you're gonna print, you don't need to print straight from the watercolor app because number one, it's gonna have that It's gonna have that watermark on the bottom. It's gonna say water brush or watercolor effects and filter app, whatever. Second, when you print, you wanna have that faux matting around it, whether it looks like canvas, whether you change the color, literally whatever you wanna do, you wanna have that faux matting around it when you print it on your canvas paper. And then you can really truly know the size when you use Canva, because you're making your document the size of your paper. So if your paper is like we have 16 by 12, you're making your document 16 by 12 and you know the true size of your paper so that when you download it, it is exactly how you designed it and you're not guessing.
Right.
That's why we use Canva.
Yes.
And like we said, everything that we did in Canva you can do it in the free version. You do not have to have Canva Pro to do anything we just did today. And it's very, very basic. I can walk you guys through it one more time if you want me to. We do have a few more minutes. So once again, if you're gonna start at your home page right here. Now your Canva may look a little different if you do not have the glow up. So what you're gonna do really quickly, you're gonna create a design, you're gonna create a custom size. If you want it landscape, your larger number needs to be your width and your smaller number needs to be your height. Landscape is horizontal. If you want it portrait, then your width needs to be your smallest size and your height needs to be your largest size. We are changing the units to inches. Let's just say we wanted it portrait. We have 12 by 16 paper. So for portrait, we would do 12 by 16. For landscape, we would do 16 by 12, okay? Either one is fine. We'll just leave it like it is. So this is gonna be landscape. You're gonna create your new design. From there, you will upload the image that you want. If you don't want to drag and drop, you can go to Uploads, Upload Files, and then choose the photo that you want to use. So here's another example here's one of Tanner and Courtney. We'll upload that, pop that in, and then this is what you don't have to send this to the Watercolor app. You can start in the Watercolor app, but the reason that we did Watercolor app is because the reason that we did start here is because we want to leave some room at the bottom to be able to crop that watermark out. So it's that simple. You'll then share it as a PNG, upload it into the app that you use, change it to a watercolor look, and then put it back in Canva and print.